What we don't want is what seems to be overly aggressive, poorly executed trawling expeditions where 5-year-olds and grandmothers and people of mistaken identity and people in Target parking lots aren't getting the shit kicked out of them in an effort to satisfy Stephen Miller's bloodlust and his quotas.
So, I mean, it was always going to be like this, right? When you look at the numbers during the campaign, the sheer number of immigrants that they were claiming that they were going to deport, you were never going to be able to get to that number by arresting the worst of the worst, right? Because to get the worst of the worst, those are the people who are not showing up for court hearings, right? Those are the people who are in hiding. And so it takes investigation, it takes resources, it takes 8 to 10 man teams to go out and track these people down and arrest them. And so what you saw is very early on, you saw Stephen Miller's, there's a sort of infamous reported meeting that he had where he was screaming at people and saying, we need to be raiding Home Depot parking lots. We need to be casting these wide nets in the community. And the other thing that I think is really, the really damning thing is, for a long time, ICE prioritized the worst of the worst. Like that was who we directed our resources at. And that makes perfect sense. When Trump took office in 2016, one of the first things he did was deprioritize going after the worst of the worst and prioritize going after migrants. So people who were here seeking asylum, people who didn't have a criminal record. Biden revoked that policy, and then Trump, within his first week of office last year, put it back in place. And so they aren't targeting the worst of the worst. They are going out and getting whoever they can, wherever they can. They're going to places where, every stereotypical kind of racist asshole thinks all the illegals are, right? Those are the places where they're going.
And they're doing it very disingenuously. I mean, the idea that, and if you question it, they really do say, oh, so I guess you want rape, like as though it is a binary. And Joseph, what has so, I think, stunned the nation, besides the thing, is the blatant lying. I mean, technology is a two-way street. Now that we have all this surveillance and video, but now we also see the citizens surveilling and the citizens catching video that absolutely disprove the narratives that are being put out by the government.
Yeah, and I mean, that clearly applies to both of these shootings, right? Where civilians and witnesses have been filming on their own mobile phones and doing their own form of surveillance. And I don't really want to think about what would happen if we didn't have those cameras in everybody's hands. They're clearly a very, very good thing. That said, the flip side, when ICE officers or Customs and Border Protection officials use their own cameras, they have this facial recognition app on there, which even gets stuff wrong.